So what do all lean people have in common? At least 98% of ripped people. What do they have in common? What do they do that people that are out of shape don't do? Let's talk about that in this video. I'm going to answer this question very direct because I've spent a lot of time thinking about what makes lean people lean. What do they have in common? You know, yeah, they've got lifestyles which are similar and there's an overlap between their values and they're all lean in terms of body fat, but what's one thing that draws them all together? I believe it's that process of being out of shape, 98% of them being out of shape, and they got into shape. That 98% of fit people that we know them as, ripped on stage, bodybuilder, physique model, sports girl, whatever the f you want to call it, they all started out being out of shape, being miserable, being tired, trying different programs, being frustrated, failing a bunch of times, and then figuring it out. 98% of ripped people have a story like that. Unfortunately, not many people tell that story. They show you the before photo, they show the after photo, but you don't see the trial and error in the line that divides the before and after photo. You don't see that. You don't see the journey, the experiences, what they've tried, the programs they've tried, the different personal trainers they've tried, the different coaches they've tried, the yo-yo dieting they've tried to get to that point where they are ripped. You don't see the work that they've put in to get in shape. What makes somebody successful from somebody who's not, in a dietary term, in fitness terms? Somebody who's successful, that's ripped, and somebody that's not ripped, there's no difference, except there's a point where someone who's unsuccessful gives up. Because someone who's successful, they try a different program, they experiment with it, and then it doesn't work out, and then they try something else. And then they try something else, and then that doesn't work out, and then they try something else. Whereas somebody who's out of shape has tried, and they haven't learned, they've failed. They stop. They don't try something else, they just don't try. This is a journey. This body transformation business that we all talk about is a journey for everybody. You'll never, if you're watching this and you're just starting your journey, awesome, that's great. Value this position right now. You're in the best position to learn and absorb and try different things. And I can assure you, you probably try about half a dozen things, get frustrated every single time because it's not going as planned. The program says you'll lose 30 pounds in 30 days. And you haven't. You lost 23, you lost 15, you lost 7, then you put it back on again. That's part of the journey. Learn from it, try something else. Now you've had a bunch of learning that you never had before. You know what doesn't work. Then you try something else. You learn, you grow, you try something else. You go through the journey of walking down this path, going down a few dead ends, having to turn around, go back to the roundabout, go down a different path. Go do another dead end. You wasted your time, you wasted your money because you invested in the program, and then you got frustrated and disappointed and you're like, got to the dead end, and what do? Do you just lay down and die? Or do you turn around and go back, learn, and try something else? And this journey is the most frustrating part. It's very frustrating, but it is the most rewarding because once you get to the point where you're not at a dead end, where you finally start to figure out how fat loss works, how weight loss works, how muscle building works, because there's a common theme of how to build muscle and how to lose fat. The science is pretty concrete on those processes, but there's so much bullshit marketing out there which will try and sell you pills and potions and powders. You're gonna take this and this and this protein powder and this and that. If you have this, you're gonna get ripped overnight. And you'll spend the first 6 months, if you just persist, you'll spend the first 6 months navigating the bullshit because you're like you're a captain of a ship. and you're navigating the bullshit of the sea, right? And sometimes you get some icebergs and you got to turn, has starboard or port, and you got to dodge those icebergs, because if you don't, it's going to hurt. It's going to take you down. And then sometimes you hit an iceberg, and then what happens? You don't give up, because that's a loser mentality. You don't give up, you try, you keep going. You fix the hull, and you keep steaming ahead. And then you learn, you see the iceberg again. You know what? You learn this time, oh, look, I'm going to turn earlier. I'm going to anticipate the iceberg, I'm going to turn earlier. And you can start to navigate the bullshit field of the sea, of all this information about weight loss and muscle gain, and there's so much bullshit out there. People just want to steal your money. It's f***ed. And then you become intuitive. In 6 months' time, you'll have this better navigation. You'll have like this compass, this bullshit compass of like knowing what works, what doesn't. And then if you keep at it, you'll get there. That's what lean people have in common. We've all tried, we've all failed, we've not gotten the results we wanted straight away. I've tried a handful of diets. I'm not going to list them all here. It's embarrassing. I got pulled into a f***ing scam where I was told, Brad, if you drink this goji berry juice, you're going to have this ripped body. You might be watching this going, you're an idiot if you fell into that scam. I did. I was an idiot. But I had to fall into that scam, because it's part of the learning of navigating and learning the field of the shit out there in the market. I had to go through that to be here right now. I had to. Like, you need to go through this frustration, because it's going to get much better for you. But if you don't push through, you'll be like everybody else that's out of shape. Because that's what all out of shape people have in common, is they've tried, they haven't learned from their failure, and they give up. If you're just starting out, you'll try something, you'll get frustrated, you'll learn from it, you'll try something else. That's the winning formula. You will win.